Premier is here. Premier Heating and Air service calls are now only $69. Your first pound of Freon is free. And if you need a new replacement system, Premier Heating and Air is now offering 60 months financing at 0% on all new AC systems. Premier also offers great second chance financing. Log on to dublin.premierishere.com and let's get things cooled down today. Premier Heating and Air, a locally owned and operated company with approved credit. Offer expires 8/31/2024.
Hello, football fans, and welcome to this year's first show of the 2024 season. I'm your host, Michael Maffett, here with brand new coach Bruce Lane, and we are awfully excited to have him here on the Trinity campus. And I know that they worked hard all summer, so we're going to do a little different show today because we don't have a game from last week other than a scrimmage. So we're going to go through the entire summer workout, and we will mention the scrimmage game from last week up in Gainesville, Georgia, which was a long way for a lot of people to travel from Dublin. And then we will talk about this week's game against Brentwood, which will be here at home. So, Coach, I know you had an intro show earlier this year with James, and it was kind of an intro to you and how you got here.
Right.
This show will be a little different today because it is football season.
Right.
I know everybody's been waiting all year on football season, and I'm sure you have as well because you love it. So tell us about your summer workout program and what you had the young men doing this year.
Right. Well, you know, the first thing I would say is I'm so excited and impressed by the buy-in from the kids. We have 37 kids, and we did levels of attendance. 21 plus was our Super Crusader, and 18 to 20 was our Steel Crusader, and then 16 to 18 was our Iron Crusader, and then below 16 was a Crusader. We had 31 out of those 37 kids that made the top level.
Oh, wow.
Well, with many of them going into the high 20s, some even the low 30s in terms of attendance. So from a buy-in standpoint, and this is the time of year, starting in May, really when you build your football team.
Right.
So we started our summer with an event that we've been doing the last few years called the Crucible, and it was more of a team building activity where they selected their team and we did activities, team building type things. We spent the night at school and then finished up the next day with a competition. And then the next week we were on a 3-day-a-week regiment with Monday and Wednesday during the month of June primarily being or Monday and Thursday being our weightlifting days, and Tuesdays were our 7-on-7s. So we went to the University of Georgia, we went to Georgia Tech, we hosted John Millage in a 7-on-7, and then we played in the Jimmy Fields Classic. So, you know, probably around 22 games this summer, which, you know, not having been their coach before, and it's a lot different and a lot more advantageous to be able to go out and line up against somebody else. And the mistakes you make in June don't count against you.
Correct.
So it was a good learning curve for us. But, you know, during summer, I have to credit our coaches, Ben East and Rob East, and Tyler Green was kind of our strength guy. Mike Giles was here, did some speed and conditioning, and our defensive coordinator, Christian Lane. They were here every day with the kids. So I think that our kids have seen the commitment from the coaches, and we definitely have seen the commitment from them. And not only the kids, but the parents. The parents have been so supportive, not just in terms of financial support and, you know, when you have your fundraisers, that, you know, obviously, but our folks have wanted to know, what can we do for you?
Yeah.
Not you having to do the ask. This is a proud school with a proud tradition, and everyone wants the football program to get back where it was under Steve Price and Ken Johnson and Ben Snipes. Those are kind of the benchmarks, and those are what we're striving every day to be more like that.
Right. So Trinity has had wonderful athletics over the last few years in terms of soccer and baseball and basketball. You know, we had a state championship.
Sure.
But football has been something that we have struggled with, and you know, I just call it like it is.
Sure.
We were struggling with it. And football typically is the bell cow. It is the one that kind of kicks everything off, starts the year, and all the momentum comes from that.
Right.
And I would agree with you 110% that the enthusiasm from both, you know, the booster, the parents is back, and the kids have certainly bought into the process. And that's
Right.
what it is. And
It
I'm
is.
certainly no football coach, but it's no different than business. Everything's a process.
Sure.
And the commitment that you guys have made and the kids have made has been tremendous.
Well, I think one thing you look at, you know, I know as a high school player, I had college or professional players that I like to follow because of either their play or their type of character they had. As a high school coach, I've always tried to pick out a coach or two that had strong principles, strong work ethic, and ran a winning program. So, I mean, we've been blessed to be on site with Pete Carroll back in the heyday at USC and visit practice. And then we were at Alabama with Nick Saban and Kirby Smart at Georgia. And those are the guys that are successful, and they realize there's no silver bullet.
Right.
That is a process. And I think that has been kind of not a challenge, but the thing we focused on the most is, you know, tell our kids it is a step-by-step thing. You're not going to get where you want to go overnight. You've got to put in the work. And I felt like, and we'll talk about it more, you know, that last Friday night, while not our best, was some validation for the work that they put in.
Yeah.
And it gave them a little confidence.
No doubt. Well, good deal. We're going to take a break, say thanks to our sponsors. We do it each and every week. Without these sponsors, these shows are not possible, not just here at Trinity, but all the local high schools. So if you see any of these people out and about in the community, please tell them thank you for not only what they do for these schools here in our community, but also sponsoring for TV 35 to make this show possible. We'll be right back.
Strickland Boots in downtown Dublin is locally owned and operated by Rodney and Martha Strickland, and where you're always greeted with a friendly smile. You'll find quality boots for safety, work, hunting, casual, or western. Choose from names like Rocky, Lacrosse, Danner, Georgia, Durango, Ariat, Double H, Wolverine, Twisted X, Thorogood, Dan Post, Laredo Cat, Carhartt, and more. You'll find boots for the whole family, from the little ones on up. You're always greeted like family and get fast, friendly service. Strickland sizes all new customers and tracks sales, so future purchases can be as fast as simple as a phone call and pickup. Strickland is where customer service really counts, and you feel like family when you leave. So stop by Strickland Boots today and see why Strickland Boots has been family owned and operated for over 50 years. Strickland Boots, 102 East Jackson Street in downtown Dublin.
I'm Brian Bazemore, President and CEO of Community Bank of Dublin-Lawrence County. We would like to invite you to come by and experience a welcoming banking environment. Come by today and have a cup of coffee and let us talk with you about our many products, savings accounts, checking accounts, CDs, and our many loans. You're more than just a number to us, you're family. Come by today, Community Bank of Dublin-Lawrence County, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
Hi, I'm Tom Dominy. Here at Dublin Wynn Nelson, we pride ourselves on providing the industry's highest quality products at the most competitive pricing. We are a full-service wholesaler specializing in plumbing, irrigation, and industrial products. With a staff that collectively offers more than 50 years of expertise, our team knows your industry, and we can answer your questions and help you get the parts and equipment you need. From mowing to Renee, we carry the plumbing, irrigation, and industrial products you need from the brands you trust. We also carry a great lineup of Milwaukee tools. At Dublin Wynn Nelson, our goal is the long-term success of your business. We achieve that goal with a simple commitment, doing things right, one customer at a time. If you have a question, or if you're looking for a hard-to-find part, give us a call. Our experts are ready to help. Order online, give us a call, or come by at 507 Airport Road in Dublin. We're committed to building long-term relationships with our customers by earning your business every day.
It's time to get in those plots. 5-way deer mix, 3-way econo, 4S Harvest Advantage, oats, rye, rape, peas and beans, and clover. Don't forget to pick up your spreader and some fertilizer when you head out the door. Need a new feeder? Roach Farm and Garden carries Boss, Buck, and Moultrie, Spin, and Gravity. Even got them that hold 600 pounds. That's a lot of feed. Speaking of feed, Roach Farm and Garden carries 4S Draw, FRM, Wild Game Innovation, and even Antler Extreme. Whole kernel corn on the cob. Pick up your salt blocks and even have trophy blocks. Don't forget, Roach Farm and Garden carries trapping supplies so you can take control of your property. It's right next to the 4S Draw. You need something to cook your game? Roach Farm and Garden has grills, griddles, fryers, and smokers. Roach Farm and Garden carries a full line of patio furniture, flags, wind chimes, and bird feeders. Don't leave out of here with some holy boots and shoes. We got a full line of Carhartt and Georgia boots. Bring the whole family, because there's something for everyone at Roach Farm and Garden. 2 locations, Dublin and Wrightsville.
Hey, my name's Chandler Gerard.
I'm Kyle Gerard with A+ Flooring and Construction. And here at A+ Flooring and Construction, we believe in teamwork.
Come let our team service you with flooring, construction, and garage doors.
So come shop with us at A+ Flooring and Construction at 371 Georgia Highway 338, or visit our website at aplusconstruction.biz.
Or give us a call at 478-676-2662. Thank you.
All right, welcome back. Coach, you kind of mentioned it right before we went to the break last week. And last week was something that I know that you've been waiting on since you got here in April, May. It was up in Gainesville, Georgia. I think you had some ties to that region before you came here.
Right.
At Bethlehem,
Right.
Bethlehem Christian.
Sure.
So walk us through kind of how you got your young men ready for last week, and then the bus ride up, and then boom, we're out here on the field, because that's when the lights come on and everything changes.
Right. Well, you know, in theater, before they start their performances, they have a dress rehearsal. Right. And that's what we basically took last week in and trying to go through the same routine we would go through for a road game. You know, we had some challenges logistically because they didn't have, you know, some of the dressing facilities. So it was a little different. But, you know, it is, and everything's different. And I think our kids are kind of waiting for the other shoe to drop, because even though you try and explain to them what's going on, until you actually go through it a week, whether it be the pregame warm-up, the standard that you set for the bus ride up, they have to live it. And that's why, you know, the scrimmage was so significant for us. But here is what I would say to you about getting them prepped. I'm going to get a lot of credit for the things that go right, and I'm going to get a lot of credit for the things that go wrong, and that's okay. But here's what I would tell you through the years, in year 36 as a head coach. I'm a better coach when I have good players, and I'm a better coach when I have good assistants. And I believe we have both of those here. I think it's just a matter, you know, you mentioned all the successes we've had in other sports, and that was one of the things I believe that I mentioned to the kids when we met the first time in January, is we're playing the same people that we play in other sports. We're successful in the other sports. Why not us? Right. So I think it's a mindset. I think we have, you know, suffered through some lean years, and football is a numbers game. You got to have numbers, and we're up to the point of, you know, 36 healthy players. We've got, hopefully we'll be able to play an entire 5-game JV schedule. So for our freshmen and sophomores, if you're in a 9 through 12 high school, in a private school, most of the 9th graders don't get to see a whole lot of playing time on Friday night. We have, you know, 3 or 4 that are playing a significant amount for us. But for them to go out every day and, you know, like Rudy said, put on that stinking uniform every day and go out there, and then not to get a reward, well, we want to let them run through that tunnel. Yeah. And we want to give them the opportunity on Thursday afternoons, because those guys are our future. And I think people lose interest in football when they don't see the value of my 9th grade year getting that coaching and practicing every day and maybe getting to play a little bit.
Right.
So, we've
Instead
been
of just being the tackling dummy.
right. So, the scout team, the look team, but they're getting an opportunity to play 5 ball games, which is half a season.
Yeah.
So that's been really good for us for having the numbers.
We were talking about this show at home last night because I was telling them I had to do it this morning, and they asked how long I've been doing it. And I said, I think somewhere around 10 years. That's pretty close. And it's been a long time since Trinity had the numbers that we have this year.
Right.
And from my side of the table, that is one of the most encouraging things that I see going on out here is the numbers are coming back, the program is coming back, and I think we have the right people leading this program.
Right. Well, I believe one of the things that really helped us is, and it's the first time I've ever done that, was being able to be here March 1
Right.
and being able to be here March and April and May and developing those relationships and trying to recruit our halls. And one of the things that helped is we have a tremendously large freshman class, and we were able to pick up a few seniors that had not played or had not played recently. We've got some work to do in our junior sophomore class to get those numbers up. But, we're encouraged by the numbers. We're encouraged by the commitment of the kids. And there's a learning curve the first year. And we just, we're trying to do it step by step. And, that's what Coach Saban always talks about is the process.
That's right.
And that's what it is. It's a process.
No doubt. So last week, you drove up. What is some of the takeaways you and your assistants have come to the conclusion of this week?
Well, even though you have 37 on your roster, you still don't want to beat each other up in practice a lot. So we're more of and have been the last 15, 20 years, a shell team, short shoulder pads, helmets, and kind of a thud in the game. So we wanted to see the kids full contact. We've been limited with the full contact. Bill Parcells said if they don't bite his puppies, they're probably not going to learn how to bite. So, and we saw some really encouraging things defensively the other night, especially. Really, it was a shutout. We had a breakdown because we hadn't coached the kids.
A snafu.
We had a snafu, but I take full responsibility of that. In every other sport, when a horn goes off, it's over. But in football, you got to learn to play to the whistle, and
right.
I take full responsibility for that. But other than that, our defense was really strong, and we put them in some bad situations sometimes with a couple of turnovers and a turnover on down, but each time they were up to the challenge, and so that is encouraging. And I think as you try and build a program that's going to be successful and hopefully compete for championships, you got to start on the defensive side of the ball.
No doubt.
And you've got to have a strong kicking game. And I feel like we have that. And then offensively, you develop as the season goes on. And, I think we have some playmakers. I think, we're going to see some different guys touch the ball a little bit throughout the course of the year. Wade rushed for about 138 yards last week. We were 12 out of 16 throwing the ball, so we had over 200 yards total offense. We probably had 5 or 6 different guys touch the football, so that's encouraging. So we started 2 freshmen, a center and a left guard. We started a sophomore at guard on offense. So we started some freshmen, a couple of freshmen on defense as well. So we're young. We have a lot of seniors. But I was encouraged by the fact that we won the football game in the fourth quarter. So you had
this time of year conditioning is very important.
And I thought we were in good shape. We did have a few kids cramp, but you also go back and look at the number of snaps they played in that heat, and they're lean muscle type, so they're more susceptible to cramping, and just some conditions leading up to the game, just being out of town for a senior trip and having a senior day where they're outside all morning the day of the scrimmage. I think that contributed to it. So our guys are smart. Our coaches are trying to help them with nutritional tips and things like that. But again, it is, it's just a learning curve.
Okay. All right, we're going to take another time out. When we come back, we'll talk about this week's game here at home against Brentwood.
It's football season, and just like your favorite team, Dublin Chevy GMC Nissan's success is built on our teamwork.
Here, Mr. Jones, here's your tune-up parts. Thank you.
Chevy or GMC, we've got your trucks.
I might not have been a great ball player back in the day, but one thing about it, Don sells cars pretty good here at Dublin Chevy GMC Nissan.
North, south, east, or west, Friendly Gus is on your way today. Fuel up with Friendly Gus's delicious breakfast, made fresh every day. Your wallet and your belly will thank you. Choose from our 20, 40, and 60-piece chicken finger and wing platters. And don't forget the tater logs. Our food is always fresh and our service is always friendly. Friendly Gus, on your way today. Also shop Cochran Brothers Cash and Carry at 320 South Jefferson in Dublin for additional items like paper products, chicken wings, bulk drinks, spices, sauces, and more.
You ready to meet the latest addition to the family? The money you saved us with auto owners helped make it all possible. It really is the best thing that's ever happened to me.
Excuse me?
Third best thing. Third best thing.
Auto Owners offers discounts for life, home, car, and business insurance because they think the more you protect, the more you should save. That's simple human sense.
Ask Curry Maffett Insurance in Dublin and Augusta if auto owners make sense for you.
Hi, I'm Dr. Dustin Gay. I'm a local orthopedic surgeon with Houston Clinic Orthopedics, and we'd really like to invite everybody to come out to our new office facility to take a look at it. It's a larger space with physical therapy, and we're just excited to have it, and we'd love for people to come out and visit us.
Come by and see us today at our brand new location, the Houston Clinic, Medical Drive in Dublin.
Allen's Heating and Cooling is your licensed Amana equipment dealer. Trust Allen's Heating and Cooling to install and service your heating and cooling unit. Allen services all brands, and with the purchase of a new Amana, offers a lifetime compressor warranty. Call Sean Clark or any of his friendly staff at Allen's Heating and Cooling, your Amana dealer. Amana lasts and lasts and lasts.
Okay, welcome back, Coach. It's football time. I mean, it is crazy how I say this each and every year, and you know, it seems like time just flies by. And football starts this Friday night here at Warnick Field. So, as you've gone through the scrimmage, you've kind of got a good idea of some of the pieces that fit in certain places. I'm sure you're still whittling on that as we speak.
Sure.
But what do you expect this Friday night?
Well, I expect, you know, Brentwood it traditionally is one of the stronger AA teams. I think they were off a little bit last year record-wise from what they've been. You know, one of my former assistants, Burt Brown, was the head coach over there for over 20 years when they went through their stretch of winning a couple of 3 state championships. Adam Lord, the head coach now, I think this is his second year, was actually a player when I was at John Millage, and so we played against him. But he does a good job. I think they're going to return to their roots. I think you're going to see more of the true wing tee. Last year they were a little bit more spread. Defensively, they're a 5-man front. They're number 7 and number 22 on the defensive side for them are really good football players. Also have a couple of skill people in the secondary. They picked up a freshman from Waco, and then they also have the kid that 100-meter dash champion last year playing in secondary. So they have some skill people. But, you know, I like our guys. I really do. I think we just have to execute and focus. And I think one of the things that we mentioned yesterday as we met and we were reviewing the scrimmage is, guys, you can go into any game and probably pull out 4 plays. If you pull those 4 plays out, it changes the outcome of the game. And we have to play whistle to whistle on all plays, thinking that that is going to be the play that might be the difference in the ball game. So I think we have to eliminate our turnovers on the offensive side of the football. I think we have to eliminate some of the what I call unforced errors with the penalties that we had the other night. Defensively, I think we have to stay away from the big play. They've got a sophomore quarterback that played for them last year. So I think they're a good football team. They're going to be physical. It's their first game too, coming out of the chute. They're trying to prove that last year was an aberration. It wasn't who they are. And we're trying to build an identity for ourselves as a football team and a football program. And I just expect it to come down to the team that makes the fewest mistakes and the team that executes the fundamentals.
Yeah, in the past, they really run the ball real well. They had a couple of kids, I think their name was Denton's, Thomas the Train.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going way back because he's my oldest. He's been graduated, but his brother came along, and I don't know if his brother graduated.
I think he's still there. I think that's one of those guys.
Yeah, so those Denton guys are just incredibly talented, and they run the football as hard as anybody that you'll see in GISA.
Well, they're very well coached. And obviously they have tradition. I like the fact that we're playing at home. I like the fact that we have some very positive building blocks from the off season into last week's scrimmage. And, I think it's important to come out and play fast early. And it's like you're chopping a tree. You're not gonna knock it down with one swing. You got to just keep chopping, right. And that's kind of what we're going to try and do on every play.
Well, good deal, Coach. Well, that's a wrap for this week's show. Again, the game is 7:30 this Friday night here at Cleveland Stadium. We encourage everybody to get out and support the local teams. These kids have worked hard, as you heard Coach say, all summer long, and they deserve our support. And I think this community has always responded well and done that. So 7:30 this Friday night, we have Brentwood, and we'll see you next week for the highlights.
From humble beginnings with a desire to serve the Dudley community, Bank of Dudley has grown to 5 locations, serving Lawrence, Twiggs, and surrounding counties. Serving our community since 1905, the Bank of Dudley is looking forward to its 2nd century of community banking. Drop in today to any of our 5 locations: Jeffersonville, Dudley, East Dublin, Veterans Boulevard, and downtown Dublin. Bank of Dudley, member FDIC, and an equal housing lender.
If you're in the market for affordable transportation, come into Wayne Kemp's Dublin Auto Sales today. Getting to work, school, or around town every day requires dependable transportation. And that's what you'll find at Wayne Kemp's Dublin Auto Sales. We offer bank rate and in-house financing, so credit is never a problem. Come in today and see TJ, Trey, Alan, or Britt at Wayne Kemp's Dublin Auto Sales, where good deals and good people meet. Wayne Kemp's Dublin Auto Sales, online at DublinAutoSalesGA.com. Come by and see us at 606 East Jackson Street in Dublin, or give us a call at 478-275-2010. Wayne Kemp's Dublin Auto Sales.
Hi, I'm Perry Williamson, and we've been baking here at Williamson's Bakery since 1927. In 1965, my grandfather, Merle Williamson, hung our name on this bakery. Ever since then, people have been stopping in for the Williamson's tradition. We invite you to do the same here at 1634 Veterans Boulevard, or catch us on Facebook, or just come get you some.